Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Big Fat Jerk guide, and today we'll be discussing General Vezax. At the making of this video, only 36% of the guilds/pug groups on Pagle server have actually killed Vezax. We have been fortunate enough to kill him several times in our pug raids on 10 and 25 man, and I'll provide you with footage from both point of views. However, the strategy generally remains the same between 10 and 25 man. I have linked some good weak auras for this fight in the description of this video. As always, please like and subscribe if you found this guide helpful. Let's start out with General Vezax's abilities. The primary ability is Aura of Despair, which is a raid-wide aura that prevents mana regeneration from natural sources, abilities, or potions, and reduces melee attack speed by 20%. There are some select abilities that still provide mana back, and here is an image of all of them. Hunter's Aspect of the Viper still provides mana, Paladin's Judgment of the Wise still provides mana, but only for the Paladin Judging, to name a few. Warlock, sorry, but Life Tap does not give you mana back. Still takes your life away though. Next is Searing Flames, which is a 2-second cast, where if not interrupted, it does massive raid-wide damage and reduces armor by 75%. This should always be interrupted. Surge of Darkness is an ability increasing Vezax damage by 100%, but movement speed by 55%. We'll talk about how to deal with this ability in the strategy portion of this video. Shadow Crash is a magic missile the boss shoots to random players who are more than 10 yards away from him. Shadow Crash leaves a black pool on the ground, providing raiders magic damage and casting speed increased by 100%, healing reduced by 75%, and the resource cost of spells and abilities are also reduced by 75%. Mark of the Faceless is a debuff to one random player, draining the health of all nearby players every second for 10 seconds, and healing the boss for each tick. You should look to have Aim Shot, Wounding Poison, Mortal Strike, or some sort of 50% healing reduction on the boss at all times to mitigate that healing. Alright, that's all the abilities of the boss. Now, let's talk about how to actually kill this boss. First, you should position your healers on the back of the boss with the melee. Create a kick rotation for your melee DPS so you never miss a Searing Flame. This applies to both 10 and 25 man. The only exception to this rule are Discipline Priests. Discipline Priest's Power Word Shield doesn't actually receive the 75% reduced healing from Shadow Crash, so if you choose to do so, Disc Priests can sit in the Shadow Crash to have the cost of their Power Word Shields reduced by 75%. This is okay in 25 man to conserve mana, but in 10 man, you really need that priest to do more than just cast one ability if you intend to kill this boss. Once you have dealt with Searing Flames, next is to master the Shadow Crash mechanic. Rule number 1 of Shadow Crash: casters should never, and I mean never ever, cast a single spell unless they are standing in the black pool left behind after Shadow Crash. All casters should have the Stop Casting Vezax Weak Aura, which I also linked in the description of this video. In 10 man, you generally have 3 to 4 ranged DPS, so we make one stack of casters about 25 yards behind the boss, and when Shadow Crash occurs, the first time everyone goes left or right. After their first Shadow Crash, you want to create 2 stacks at the very edge, and I do mean very edge of the circle of the black pool. Once again, the weak aura will tell you when you are receiving the Shadow Crash buff and it is okay to cast. We create 2 stacks because when one side of the stack gets Shadow Crash, the other side does not have to move because they will be out of the range of the splash damage. This is critical to maximize DPS on the boss. In 25 man, you might have 10 to 12 caster DPS, and this becomes much more difficult to manage, but it is doable. Vezax is a very forgiving fight on 25 man. But what we have found to work is every time our stack has become too loosely spread, we just call for a restack, reset the Shadow Crashers, and then go back to executing 2 stacks on either edges of the black pool. If you get Mark of the Faceless, we just tell them to run to the back of the raid. Warlocks can use their personal teleporter to get out quickly, mages can blink, hunters can disengage, and rocket boots if all else fails. The less you heal the boss with this ability, the better your chances of a smooth kill, which is why we always try to have aim shot up on the boss. If you don't have aim shot, then Mortal Strike or Wounding Poison works too. So now that we have talked about how to deal with Searing Flames, Shadow Crash, and Mark of the Faceless, let's talk about the last two abilities, Surge of Darkness and Saronite Vapors, to get your healers their precious mana back. Some guys have said just to have your tank sit in and eat Surge of Darkness with cooldowns. This strategy has not been successful for us at all. The damage is just simply too great. The best strategy that has worked for us is kiting the boss during Surge of Darkness. And what we have the tank do is kite to a position where there is already a Saronite Vapor up. So when the healers get there, they have a Saronite Vapor pool on the ground waiting for them. Additionally, if you have a Death Knight in your 10-man, the Death Knight can grip Saronite Vapors close to the boss so healers can stand in it. If you don't have a Death Knight, just kite the boss during Surge of Darkness close to Saronite Vapors. Remember, there are only so many Saronite Vapors that spawn, and after a certain percentage of the health of the boss, they stop spawning altogether. Healers, it's important to note that a majority of the mana comes after the dot left behind from standing in the Saronite pool ticks off. Our healers have stated that the best thing to do is stand in the pool for 6 stacks, step out, let the dot fall off, then go back in for another 5 to 6 stacks. Generally, each pool is usually good for 2 rotations of 6 stacks of the dot, and then it will disappear. In closing, interrupt every Searing Flame, try to mitigate how much damage casters take from the Shadow Crash ability, cast only when standing in a black pool, misdirect/tricks the tank off cooldown, get out of the raid ASAP during Mark of the Faceless, and kite the boss towards a Saronite Vapor during Surge of Darkness. If you do all these things, Vezax should go down for you in a few pulls. I hope this video helped you guys. Once again, please check out the description for helpful weak auras. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll let the video of our 25-man play out so you can listen to the callouts during this video on how we manage Shadow Crash and Saronite Vapors. I wish you all the best of luck on your next General Vezax attempts. Have a great day, everybody. There's no Saronite Vapor this way. Communicate, healers.
Right now?
Yeah, no, he's not.
Moving him a little bit closer to the Viper.
Oh. Alright, double death grip skull, DKs. Double death grip skull. Towards the boss. Need 1 DK to death grip the Saronite Vapor. Death grip skull. Any DK, death grip skull. Any DK.
DPS thing and go grip the damn fucking Saronite.
Kill that Saronite Vapor. Alright, here you go, healers.
Thank you.
Rocket boosting him stuff.
Restack casters, restack. Restack on circle. Yep, go to the other side. Exactly, go to the other side. Kill skull for healers. There you go, healers. Fuck. Restack casters, restack. Restack on circle, max range. Restack on circle. Right, get on the edges, Rotate misdirects.
This is our last Vapor. Let's try to hold on to it to like 10%.
Surge of Darkness. Shadow Crash. Restack casters, restack. Let us know, healers. Communicate with us.
We could probably use one now.
We're gonna have to
Got it.
double. We're gonna have to double death grip this. Double death grip this, Death Knights. Right behind the boss. One more
We got
death grip.
30
One
more
more.
seconds,
One
we're
more.
good.
One more. One more death grip. One more death grip.
Yeah, that'll do.
Nah. Just finish boss. Finish boss. Dig deep,
Hands
guys.
up on the tank.
Shadow Crash and Majin.
No, man.
Boss is at 2%.
We got it. We got it.
Great job, guys.
Good job.
Hell yeah.
go,
Good
baby.
shit. Good shit, guys. Good shit.